My name is Aubrey Leitch, and I am the former public relations manager for Turning Point USA, and I was a part of the recent kind of mass termination group at Turning Point.
I've seen enough. Erika Kirk should be dragged into a police precinct for questioning. Like I said, you can show me the person who disagrees with me on that.
Erika Kirk's personal assistant is now taking her to court. It's that serious. The assistant isn't holding back either, straight up accusing her of assault, and the details coming out are wild. These aren't small claims you can brush off. Reports say Erika allegedly got physical with her own staff, and it didn't just stop at shouting or tension. It's being said the situation escalated so badly that it reportedly led to a concussion, which makes this whole thing hit a whole different level. This isn't just messy gossip floating around online. It's a full-blown legal fight that's shaking her image to the core. The calm, grieving widow persona people thought they knew, that picture is getting flipped completely upside down. And if even a piece of these accusations turns out to be true, it could seriously change how people see her moving forward in a major way. For years, Erika was known simply as Charlie Kirk's wife. The quiet one, the devoted Christian, the stay-at-home mom who stayed out of the spotlight.
Okay, so we obviously cannot go so far as to suggest that Lori, Loretta, Abbas, Stanley, Wallstad, Franz Fay was openly committing fraud. We can't say that. What we can confirm to you, however, is that if she was doing that, breaking the law and committing fraud is something that Lori's family is kind of historically known for.
That was the image everyone accepted without question. But after Charlie passed, everything switched up almost overnight. She didn't just stay in the background as a widow, she stepped straight into power. Now she's reportedly running an organization valued at around $250 million, and people definitely started raising eyebrows. Many are asking how someone without a clear executive track record could jump into a role that massive without missing a step. It didn't sit right with a lot of observers, and soon enough, more reports started surfacing, adding even more heat to the situation. But the story being told behind the scenes, it hits completely different. According to deeper investigations, Erika may not have been as low-key as people first believed. Some claims say that just days after Charlie passed, she was already jumping on Zoom calls, mapping out major plans for TPUSA, and lining herself up to take control in a big way.
Don't let anyone disenfranchise you because you're a young man, especially a young white male man. Don't ever let anyone talk down to you. We need strong men out there, strong men who are convicted, that will be good leaders, good husbands, good fathers like mine.
While the public was watching emotional moments play out on TV, there are allegations that she was already making calculated moves in the background. That fast switch from grieving spouse to full-on leader had people talking, and not quietly either. For some, the sudden shift into boss mode felt way too fast. And that's when people started spotting things that didn't quite add up. And now everything circles back to this lawsuit that just landed, and it's got people raising serious questions. This former assistant, someone who used to be right there in Erika's inner circle, is now coming forward with claims that clash hard with the image Erika presents. According to her account, the work environment didn't reflect those polished Christian values at all. She describes it as intense, high pressure, and straight up toxic, saying it didn't just stay at words. The lawsuit claims that during a heated argument, Erika allegedly lost control and things escalated past shouting. The assistant says Erika either pushed her or hit her with enough force to reportedly cause a concussion, which takes these accusations to a whole other level.
He was not messaging people the day before saying, I'm going to be murdered.
Andrew Colbert is the person who received a text message from Charlie Kirk saying they're going to kill me.
He wrote me this, please pray for me. Quote, I know they want me dead.
That's not some minor accusation you can just brush past. That's a serious injury being put front and center. A concussion isn't small. It's a real medical issue that can have lasting effects. And this isn't coming from a random outsider trying to stir things up. This is someone who worked side by side with Erika every day, seeing what went down behind closed doors. That's exactly why people are stopping and rethinking everything right now. The lawsuit isn't just about money either. It's about what the assistant describes as intentional infliction of emotional distress and holding Erika responsible for it. Those kinds of claims hit differently, especially when they come from someone who was once part of her inner circle. And it doesn't stop there. Others are stepping in and adding more layers to the situation. Candace Owens has been going all in with her own series, breaking things down piece by piece. She's been dropping episodes that feel more like a deep investigation into Erika's past, and it's pulling in a lot of attention online. One of the more unusual details she highlighted is what people are calling the Morfar situation. It might sound small at first, but online investigators are treating it like a big deal. Erika has publicly referred to her paternal grandfather as Morfar, and that's where the confusion kicks in.
Caster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now? Stop.
In Swedish, that term actually means mother's father, not father's father. That tiny detail has people raising eyebrows and asking how something like that even happens. It's adding yet another layer to the growing speculation around her story. And it doesn't end there. Her entire backstory is now under the spotlight, with questions being raised about everything from her family history to how she's described her upbringing. Candace is even taking things further by questioning Erika's paternity and the story about being raised by a struggling single mother. According to what she's shared, there are documents suggesting Erika's biological father and even a stepfather were actually present in her life the whole time. That directly clashes with the version people have been hearing for years, and it's making a lot of people stop and rethink the narrative. Piece by piece, parts of Erika's origin story are getting challenged in real time, and it's changing how people look at everything. Now, Candace is basically asking, if something as simple as which side of the family your grandfather is on doesn't line up, then what else might be off? And that question is what's really pulling more attention into this whole situation. What makes it even more intense is that this isn't the first time people have questioned her statements. There have been moments before where things didn't fully add up. For example, she once claimed she hadn't dated anyone before Charlie, not even casually. But once people started digging, reports of past relationships began surfacing, and they weren't exactly low profile either. There were even claims linking her to a reality dating show appearance, which left a lot of people seriously confused. Now the big question floating around is how that lines up with saying she never dated at all. And on top of everything else, there are also rumors circulating that she may have been married before Charlie, which only adds more uncertainty to everything already being discussed. At this point, it's not just one claim, it's a growing list of questions that people can't seem to ignore. It's starting to look like a pattern that people feel they can't just ignore anymore. Then there's that speech from March 2026 that really set things off. Erika took the stage and delivered a message aimed at young white men, telling them not to let others talk down to them or push them aside. The whole moment felt unusual to a lot of viewers, and it quickly sparked a wave of reactions online. With everything else already being questioned, that speech only added more fuel to the conversation. People began picking apart her public statements more closely, analyzing not just what she said, but how and why she said it. It pushed even more attention onto her, and suddenly every appearance started getting a second look. On the surface, it looked like she was stepping up and trying to lead the mega crowd, but not everyone is buying that version of the story. A lot of people felt it came off more like a calculated move to build support and secure her position. To them, it didn't feel natural at all. It felt forced, like she was trying to slide straight into Charlie's role without missing a beat. There's a growing perception that she's aiming to become the new face of that movement. But the way it's playing out hasn't landed well with everyone. Even some of her own supporters have pointed out that certain talking points sound awkward or out of place, which only adds more tension to the situation. At the same time, she's reportedly been pushing major changes inside the organization, including a rebrand, turning Point USA into something called Club America. On top of that, there are claims she's trying to expand its reach even deeper into high schools and colleges, moving more aggressively than before, which is raising even more questions about her overall strategy and intentions. But instead of building momentum, it's actually triggering pushback. Some local chapters are not on board at all. Groups like the one at the University of Arkansas have reportedly cut ties with the national organization, pointing to concerns about leadership and the direction things are heading right now. And this is where the story takes a much darker and more controversial turn. The so-called inside job theories start creeping in. This part of the situation is where everything feels more intense and a lot more divisive. Candace Owens hasn't just questioned whether the public grief was genuine. She's also hinted at something far more serious in her commentary. She's suggested that Charlie Kirk's assassination might not have been entirely external, using words like betrayal and raising the idea that someone close to him could have been involved. That kind of talk has left people shocked, split, and arguing all over the place. When people look at the bigger picture, Erika stepping into control of a $250 million organization, landing high-profile board positions, and suddenly rising in visibility, it starts to raise questions for some observers. Not direct accusations, but questions that keep circulating online and picking up traction fast. To be clear, there is no verified evidence supporting claims that she or anyone close to her was involved in any crime. But that hasn't stopped the internet from running wild with its own theories. Some people are even trying to connect those ideas to the assistant's lawsuit, wondering if someone that close to Erika might have seen or heard things during those final days. It's all speculation at this point, but the fact that these conversations are happening shows just how intense and complicated this situation has become. That's why, for some people, this case feels way bigger than just an assault claim. It's being talked about like something that could potentially expose even more behind-the-scenes details as everything continues to unfold. And as all this builds, Erika's response has been fast and forceful. Reports say she's been sending out cease and desist letters quickly, trying to shut down discussions around claims like fake grief and the more extreme theories floating around online. She's clearly pushing back hard, trying to regain control of the narrative as it keeps spiraling across the internet. But that strong reaction is also keeping the spotlight locked right on her, and the conversation isn't slowing down anytime soon. If anything, it's pulling in more attention from every direction. Now, people are asking a major question. Does this situation match the image of a quiet, modest widow? Or does it point to someone under serious pressure as scrutiny keeps building? That's the debate happening everywhere right now, and it's only getting louder. The more pushback there is against these claims, the more attention they seem to attract. Instead of fading away, the conversation just keeps growing louder and more intense. And now that there's an official lawsuit filed in court, this isn't something that can be quietly handled behind closed doors. Legal cases come with formal processes, which means every claim and every response is going to be examined closely, step by step, in full view. Erika may still hold a powerful position, but the spotlight around her is getting stronger by the day, and people are watching closely to see what happens next. The attention isn't fading, it's building, and every move is being noticed and talked about in real time. There's a growing demand from the public for clear answers, and as Candace Owens has said, the truth doesn't fear inspection. That line is now being repeated more and more as this situation keeps unfolding. Right now, nothing feels settled. The questions are stacking up, the pressure isn't easing off, and every new detail seems to pull even more people deeper into the story. What started as a carefully controlled public image is now under non-stop pressure from every angle, and that spotlight isn't fading anytime soon. Whether these claims end up holding strong or completely falling apart, one thing is clear. People are locked in and paying very close attention. This situation has grown way bigger than anyone expected, and the next moves could shift everything in a major way. So now it comes down to you. What do you think about all of this? Does it actually add up, or does it feel like there's still more to the story that hasn't come out yet? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button, share this with someone who needs to see it, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what happens next as this keeps unfolding.